Ever wondered what paganism is? It's a term that's been around for centuries, yet it's evolved significantly over time. Originally, paganism was a label used by early Christians to describe religions outside of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. But what about today? Fast forward to the present and we find ourselves in the era of modern or neo-paganism. The term pagan has taken on a broader meaning, encompassing a wide array of non-Christian religious practices, both ancient and modern. It's no longer just a term for those outside the major monotheistic religions. Modern paganism is like a rich tapestry, woven with threads of different beliefs, practices, and traditions. It's not a single, uniform religion, but a diverse collection of spiritual paths. From the revival of European pagan practices to the birth of new ones, modern paganism is a vibrant and ever-evolving spiritual landscape. Intrigued? There's so much more to uncover about paganism. Did you know the revival of European paganisms is attributed to a man named Gerald Gardner? Quite the intriguing character. Gardner was a British civil servant who, in the 1940s, founded what many consider to be the cornerstone of modern paganism, Wicca. Let's delve a bit into Wicca, shall we? Wicca is a fascinating form of paganism that has captivated people worldwide. It's a religion that intertwines the magical with the mundane, a belief system that brings together the ethereal and the earthly. Wicca is often associated with witchcraft, but it's much more than just spells and potions. It's a way of life that deeply respects nature and the environment. Wiccans believe in a dual deity, the horned god and the mother goddess. They celebrate the cycles of the moon and the turning of the seasons. They see divinity in every leaf and stone, every river and mountain. Wicca is about finding a spiritual connection with the world around us, seeing the sacred in the everyday. Gardner's Wicca played a significant role in the revival of European paganism. It was a beacon of light in a world emerging from the darkness of war, a call to return to the roots of spirituality, to the ancient practices that once held sway over the European continent. But Wicca is just a part of the larger pagan movement. It's one of many paths that lead to the old gods, to the ancient ways. There's a rich tapestry of beliefs and practices within paganism, each with its own unique perspective on the divine. So while Gerald Gardner and Wicca played a significant role in reviving European paganism, let's remember this. Wicca is just one form of paganism. There are many more. Reconstructionists are another fascinating group within paganism. These individuals seek to revive the ancient pagan practices of yore, basing their efforts on historical and archaeological evidence. They strive to recreate the rituals, beliefs, and social structures of ancient cultures as faithfully as possible. The desire is not merely to mimic the past, but to breathe new life into it, making it relevant and meaningful for the present day. This form of neo-paganism is a testament to the human fascination with the past, and our enduring desire to understand and connect with our ancestors. The result is a vibrant and diverse community of practitioners, each with their own unique interpretation of the ancient traditions. But Reconstructionism is not the only form of modern paganism. Let's take a brief detour to explore some others. Druidry, for instance, is a path that draws inspiration from the spiritual traditions of the ancient Celtic peoples. It emphasizes reverence for nature, the cycles of the seasons, and the wisdom of the ancestors. Druids see the divine in all things, from the grandeur of a mountain peak to the humblest blade of grass. Another form of paganism is heathenism. This tradition is culturally Eurocentric and polytheistic, with a strong focus on the worship of Norse gods and goddesses. Heathens honor their ancestors, the land, and the community, and they often gather in small, close-knit groups called kindreds. These are just a few examples of the many forms of paganism that exist today. Each path is unique, shaped by the beliefs, experiences, and cultural heritage of its practitioners. Yet all share a common thread: a deep respect for the natural world and a desire to connect with something greater than ourselves. Paganism is a vast field with numerous paths. Whether you're drawn to the ancient traditions of the Druids, the Norse pantheon of the heathens, or the meticulous historical recreations of the Reconstructionists, there's a place for you in the diverse tapestry of modern paganism. The Universalist Unitarian Church also has connections to paganism. This liberal religious tradition, with its open-minded approach to spirituality, finds common ground with paganism in a rather intriguing way. The Universalist Unitarian Church, or UUC for short, is known for its embracement of diverse spiritual paths. It's a space where a Buddhist, a Christian, a humanist, and yes, even a pagan can gather under the same roof in a mutual quest for spiritual understanding. One of the key aspects where the UUC intersects with paganism is its profound respect for nature. Just like pagans, members of the UUC see nature as sacred. They believe in the interconnectedness of all life, and in this, they echo the pagan reverence for the natural world. This is not surprising, considering that both pagans and Unitarian Universalists share a deep concern for environmental issues, a common thread that binds them together. This connection with nature is not just about appreciating the beauty of the natural world. It's about recognizing our place within it, about understanding that we are not separate from nature, but an integral part of it. This sentiment mirrors the pagan belief in the divine present in nature and in every living thing. It is also important to note that the UUC does not seek to appropriate or dilute pagan practices. Instead, it encourages its members to learn from and appreciate the richness of pagan traditions. It's about fostering a space where different spiritual paths can intersect and learn from each other. So, while the Universalist Unitarian Church might not be explicitly pagan, its teachings and values echo many aspects of pagan thought and practice. This overlap allows for a harmonious coexistence and mutual enrichment between these two spiritual paths. Paganism is not just about ancient practices, it also resonates with modern spirituality. Whether you're a member of the UUC or identify as a pagan, or perhaps both, the common ground these paths share reflects the universal human quest for spiritual understanding and connection with the world around us. Paganism is diverse, and so are its followers. The breadth and depth of pagan beliefs and practices are as varied as the individuals who adhere to them. As we delve into the world of paganism, it's crucial to remember that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to understanding this spiritual path. Each practitioner has their unique interpretation and application of pagan principles, guided by personal experiences and insights. In our quest to understand, we must approach with openness and respect, knowing that each pagan we encounter offers a fresh perspective on this diverse belief system. It's essential to engage in polite dialogue, asking questions to explore and learn more about their particular practices and beliefs. This respectful curiosity opens doors to deeper understanding and mutual respect. As we learn, we grow, and as we grow, we foster a more inclusive and understanding world. So let's ask, let's listen, and let's learn. Remember, paganism is as diverse as the people who practice it. Let's take a moment to recap what we've learned about paganism. We started off by introducing paganism, a term that has evolved over time, and today encompasses a spectrum of non-Christian religious practices, both ancient and modern. It's a fascinating field, full of rich history and diverse traditions. We then delved into the revival of European paganisms, a movement attributed to Gerald Gardner, the founder of Wicca in the 1940s. Wicca, with its associations with witchcraft, goddess worship, and environmentalism, is just one of the many expressions of modern paganism. Next, we touched on Reconstructionism and other forms of paganism. Reconstructionists, we learned, aim to reconstruct ancient pagan practices based on historical and archaeological evidence. We also discussed other forms of modern paganism, including Druidry and heathenism, which are culturally Eurocentric and polytheistic. We also explored the Universalist Unitarian Church's relationship with paganism, a church that embraces nature as sacred, further demonstrating the wide-ranging and inclusive nature of pagan beliefs. Lastly, we emphasized the importance of understanding individual pagans. As the term pagan is so broad, it's essential to remember that each person's beliefs and practices are unique. Being polite and asking questions is the best way to understand the specific beliefs and practices of individual pagans. Paganism is a fascinating and diverse field of spiritual practice. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep learning.